Hello, my name is MooingCat and welcome back to another beta recap. In this video I will talk about the things that happened this week on beta, which to be honest is not that much, but we do have some big topics. So I will cover the daily changelog, a big change to the event pass, we have the new football event, lack of updates for the guild expression update, a bit new stuff on the St. Patrick's Day event, as well as some new additions to the shop, possibly coming up in the future. So without further ado, let's start by quickly looking through the changelog, and it really will be quick this day, because on Monday we had some display updates, nothing really important, same on Tuesday, then on Wednesday and Thursday nothing really happened, but then we did get some quite big news on Friday. They have added some new items to the antiques dealer. So to the auction, they have added the Athlon Abbey selection kit, the Mountain Reserve, Pirate Hideout, Pirate Reef, or the chain buildings for the Pirate Hideout, and Golden Crops selection kit. So 5 quite big items there. I think probably the main ones are the 2 I have highlighted in green here, with the Mountain Reserve selection kit and the Pirate Hideout selection kit. I imagine both of those will be quite sought after. And also for new worlds, the chain buildings are quite nice. So that's probably a big item there as well, I imagine. Then in the shop, so items you buy directly for the gems and coins you have the Harvest Farm selection kit, or the fall set, so that's a big one. You have the Abandoned Asylum, the Winter Bakery, Vineyard, Terracotta Vineyard, the main building, and the Terracotta Vineyard Fields, or the chain buildings, and the Druid Temple. So again, some quite big items. I think the main one is the Fall Set Selection Kit. That's a big one that a lot of people will be going for. I wonder what the price of that will be, but yeah, this is in the shop, so you can buy it directly without going through the auction, so that's very nice. And especially for newer players, the Terracotta Vineyard Fields are quite nice. The Abandoned Asylum is quite outdated now. The Winter Bakery, not really that great. The Druid Temple is quite alright as well. So some very nice items has been added here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the daily changelog. So if we move on to probably the biggest topic of this this week. Dear Kings and Queens, the winter prices, or the event pass, will not be available for diamonds anymore. It can only be bought in the shop with real money. So if we go in-game, this is something that has been tested. A couple of events now, some of you have had it already, but when you go to unlock the event pass, you can now only do so for real money. That will now be the only option going forward, which is a real shame for me. I really don't like it. A lot of other people, I imagine, will not like it. But that is what they are doing going forward. And the reasoning that they are providing is that based on data we received during the Halloween event, where they did some A/B testing on the live servers on this, they found that buying the event pass in the shop was more popular than doing so with diamonds. And that's why they've made this change. Part of me, I can understand this, a part of me find it a bit hard to believe that more people bought it with the money, but apparently that was the case. I don't doubt that the profit for it was higher, and that's why they made a change. But I don't know, the reasoning here made it sound like they are doing the players a favor here, which if that was the case, they would simply allow us to buy it for either money or diamonds. This is for them to increase their profits, which is, I don't know, it's understandable, but it does suck for a player standpoint. At least, yeah, if it was for the players, which they really make it sound like here, they would offer both options instead of just for real money. But that's what they went for. Other than that, there are no further changes to this, specifically to the winter event. And yeah, this is just for the winter event. So that's the big change. Personally, I don't like it. I definitely understand it from a business point of view. They no doubt make more money if people buy it for real money. But as a player, it definitely sucked, at least not having the option. I wouldn't mind there being an option to buy it for real money. And if indeed what they say is true, that more people bought it for money than for diamonds, then by all means do both. But only going forward with real money, that sucks, and it's definitely not in favor of players. It's purely for profits. But yeah, the price they seem to have settled on is around $15, euros, pounds, whatever your local currency is. 140 NOK for me. I'm from Norway, if you didn't know. So yeah, around $15. Anyways, moving forward, also this week the Forge Bowl event was released. Don't really have too much more to say about it. I did make my video on the Thursday, I believe it was, when it launched, so you can check that out if you want to learn more. There hasn't been any changes since then, so not really a lot to talk about in this specific video. I will link the video on it in the description. Then, moving on to spoilers. As always, the big question, do we have anything else more for the guild expedition? And the answer again is no. It's now been 6 weeks, I think, since we heard anything or got any new information about it. Still nothing new, so again, we have to wait longer. The community manager has said in one of my live streams that he knows when it's going to be released or what the plan is, but of course he couldn't say anything else. So at least we know that internally they do have a release date planned, so hopefully it's not that long before we get it on beta. But yeah, who knows? Possibly this year, but might move into next year, who knows. Then, the St. Patrick's Day event, we don't really have that much new. We had a look at the buildings last week. We have some updated assets here for the chests in the event pass and so on, nothing really important there. The avatars we had last week. What's new this week is that we no longer have placeholders here for the selection kits. If you recall, these were just placeholders with blurred out images of the Forge Bowl event building. Now we have an upgrade kit for the main building, a selection kit for the main building, and as we talked about before, a selection kit for the 3 other buildings, these 3 trees here, which seems like some sort of decoration or something like that. Who knows? Perhaps they are standalone buildings, or perhaps they are some sort of set connecting them to the main building. Who knows? We will learn more about that. Well, probably not this year. It'll probably be in January, or perhaps the event will start. No, I don't think the event will start in the in the end of December. I imagine the developers will probably have a holiday then, so the event will probably start in January, I believe, on beta, and then a couple of weeks later on, or a month or two after, on the live servers. Anyways, then moving on to the last topic of this video. We have some new shop additions. So this is some more additions to the real money shop. We have some backgrounds here. Nothing really that interesting, but we do have this one for the spring event. Or at least for spring, which I assume is for the spring event. Which is something that, not sure if it was widely speculated about, but I think there were some speculation that the fellowship event specifically would replace the spring event, sorry, because the spring event was replaced by the anniversary event, but they also had a new event with the fellowship event, so there were some talk about perhaps that replacing the spring event, and the fellowship event, it did have some spring event daily specials, so who knows, but yeah, it seems like we will be getting the spring event again this year. Probably in the standard time slot around May, or April, May, around there. And then probably the fellowship event once again after the summer event. Or was it before summer? In the summer, but yeah. We have some new bundles, it looks like. Another point here, seems like we'll be able to buy directly in the shop for real money pieces for the cherry set, for the spring set. In terms of the price here, if you just quickly go down here, you can see that for $10, it costs, or you get 5,000 castle system points. For $20, you get 10,000. And also, if you go back to in-game here, that's another reason why this is probably $15 in your currency. It's halfway between $10 and $20. But yeah, you can see that 5,000 equals $10. If you go back up here, for spring set pieces here, 2,500 coins. So, or castle system points. So probably $5. Although all of these assets here are level 2 assets, so that might mean that you get a fully level 2 building for those $5. Still don't think it is worth it. We will see what the price truly is. We also have this selection kit here, which is 10 times the price. So probably, possibly 10 selection kits, for example, for a full, standard layout. But yeah, if it is 10 of these for that would be $50, then perhaps these are just level 1 buildings, who knows. Anyways, don't really need to speculate too much about it. Then we have some new starter packages. So when you start a new world, you get some packages or some offers that are usually quite good. I haven't really looked into it in years now, but I'm pretty sure the beginning offers were even better than the 200% diamond offer. Perhaps not for the top option when it comes to the 200% diamond options, but I think for the same cost, buying the new starter or buying the starting package when you started a new world gave you more than the 200% offer. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that was the case. In any event, it seems like we will now have one additional option, this one here. Because previously I'm pretty sure this option here was the best. I think you got 3,500 diamonds up front, and then each day for 7 days, I believe it might have been 500 or 1,000 diamonds. So overall you definitely got more diamonds than for the same cost, buying it standard. And you also got some buildings, some resources and so on. Now it looks like we have another bigger option here, which gives more diamonds naturally. But it also seems like it gives the golden orrery, so an event building. And this building back here, which I think is isn't that the new beehive, whatever it was. We got a new building that was similar to the sleigh builder and stuff like that in the wildlife event, I want to say. I think it's that one. Not quite sure, but it looks like we will get another, or that this package here will have some event buildings as well, which is interesting. We also have, similar to the cherry pieces, an option to buy a wishing well, a small wishing well. This is 500 castle system points, which would mean, I don't know what, $1, $2, interestingly. So that's quite relatively cheap. Probably not worth it still, but an interesting option. And then also the possibility to buy event currency directly for money, similar to what we saw here in this image, buying the currency for the summer event directly with money. So yeah, I don't think this has been available in all events, but I do also remember seeing it in some events in the past. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that as well. Again, we will learn more about this in the future, in the upcoming weeks, I imagine. So yeah, nothing really too big this week, apart from perhaps the event pass, probably the biggest change during this week. Quite a negative one if you ask me. But yeah, it is what it is. So with that, let me thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Comstar, For Prefect, Lorden, Rockanobin, Kim Cayley, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Dan Simonad, JT, The Rev, Perk B, Hugo Kant von Count, Jan Fredriksen, Jutta Denves, Filda, Susan Weiss, Megara, Kurago, Bertrand Emrys, Henrik der Erklärbär, Mattia, Obshi the Obsessed, Rav, Adaril, Mike, Wolfboy, Atomic, and Flavius Belisarius. Thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.